So Kobe and I just arrived here. There's something out here I'm going to take a look at. Maybe I can get it taken care of today. It's a beautiful day today. These past few days have just been rainy and gray, so it's nice to get out and see the sun. Golly, it makes such a big difference when the sun is out. It's beautiful out. So what I'm looking at today, it's here on top of the tower. These bricks here have this strange algae growing on here. There's a lot more of it over here. What I'd like to try to do is get some of this taken off today. I think I have a solution for it. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna give it a try. You can see this stuff is just kind of, when it's dry, it's very hard to get off. Well, not too difficult, but in the summer, it's impossible to get off. It's just really, really hard. But here, because we have a lot of humidity in the evening, I might be able to get this sprayed off. So I think I'm gonna give it a try. Come on, Kobe. I've had this thing for years, and it's been about that long since I've last used it. Hopefully it still works. And this hose should reach. Just gonna have to go around through here. Whoa, great, it got water all over me. It's one of those kind of hoses that extends once you add water to it. Goodness. Guess I should have made sure all the water was out. Let's get this water turned on. There we go. Well, I obviously didn't remember how to use this thing. As soon as I turned on the water, I didn't have the wand connected and water was shooting everywhere. I think now I can get the distance. Okay. I think that's as far as I can get, but this should be able to reach. This is all twisted up. Okay. Okay. Get some power to it. Okay, I have water, I have power, and I think it's ready to go. Give it a try. So clearly there is a big difference in the area that I did and the area that I didn't do. So this seems to be working pretty good. There's still some little black specks that are here on this other area. Maybe I can pre-treat it with something. I'm not sure what to use. Perhaps someone knows of a product that is environmentally friendly that I can put on here. Please let me know in the comments. For now, I'm gonna continue as far as I can go. I don't know if that I'm gonna do this whole area today. I have a lot to get to today, so we'll see how far I can get. Okay, so there we have it. And wow, did this make a really big difference? And you know, at first I thought, okay, I'm just gonna do the red bricks on the top, but then I noticed that it was also the bricks on the bottom there. Take a look over on this side. So I did this, I went all the way around. In fact, I didn't think I was gonna have enough time to go all the way around. And I also noticed that the floor needs to be done as well. But I'm gonna have to get to that another day because it's almost 12 o'clock here and I've been working on this maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. All in all, came out nice. It's okay, Kobe, the big bad machine is off. You can come up now. Now I just need to get all this cleaned up and put back away and see if we can do some paint testing on the inside. So the power washing of the tower was a success. Now the sun is out and it's drying. Once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and sweep that all out and it's gonna look nice. What I wanna do now is test out these two different lime wash paint colors that I have here. Lime wash paint in Italian is pittura a calce. And I selected these two colors not only to test the color, but also to test how it adheres to this plaster. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I applied this plaster and why it's important to prepare this surface. But first I need to move this workbench here. And Kobe, I'm sorry baby, you're going to have to move. We're going to get this paint out of here. And then I'll start sanding down this surface. I'm going to use a 120 grit sandpaper just to knock off some of the granules that are left on here. And that should be enough to test out this paint. Okay, that should give me enough room to work here to sand and paint without getting any paint on this workbench. Before I get started, I want to talk a little bit about the dimensions of this space that I'm in. And I bring this up because a friend of mine that was visiting for the first time that actually saw this place and had seen my videos as well. Some of you may know of him, Richard at 3 Acres of Marche. He commented that the space seems smaller in a video than actually being here in person. So I want to talk a little bit about the dimensions of this room to kind of help give you an idea of how big of an area it is. So when I back up here to this wall here, the distance from this wall to the wall behind the camera is 60 feet. And from this wall to that door is just over 13 feet. Inside this wall to that wall is about 12 feet. The adjoining room is roughly the same size, maybe just a little bit smaller. So in total, on this level of the house, there's just under 1,500 square foot, or actually right at around 1,500 square foot. And then there are another 2 levels above. In fact, in the last video where you saw me plastering in the bathroom, that is the level just above me. And on that level, there's a adjoining room, which I really didn't film when I was doing the plastering, that has 2 bedrooms. So, and then above that is another floor that also has 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So there's going to be a bathroom on every floor. Well, technically, I say that, but technically not on this level, because on this level, the bathroom is going to be, whoop, let me fall, right underneath this trap door. There's a storage area, and to get here, you go out, down, and underneath. And below me is the storage area, actually 2 levels of storage area, a big garage, and a tunnel that goes 40 feet into the earth. So it kind of gives you an idea of how big this space actually is. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the sanding and see if we can get some paint on the wall here. Okay, so this section of the wall has been sanded. I brushed it off so it's ready for the color test. Before I start that, I want to talk a little bit about this plaster. This is an Italian plaster called KD2. And KD2 is a bonding plaster. It's something you're going to put right over the stones, right over bricks, and it's not something that typically is the finishing plaster you would see in a modern house. But KD2 works great if you're looking for a rustic look, and that's exactly what I wanted for this house. So when I applied the KD2, I was very careful not to go too crazy with trowel marks, and before it dried, I went over it with a sponge, and that gave it this nice smooth look, took out the trowel marks, and then gave me that rustic finish that I was looking for, that I absolutely love. So if I wanted to paint this with a normal interior house paint, what I would have to do is either first seal it, or I would have to mist coat it. And what a mist coat is basically that first layer of paint is the paint mixed with 80% water, and that allows the plaster to absorb that water and kind of seal the wall. Otherwise, like I said, maybe an acrylic type of sealant that would go on here. Otherwise, if you just tried to paint it with a normal house paint, then This plaster, which is like a sponge, is gonna suck all the water out of that paint, and then the paint's just gonna come off. I'm gonna give it a try and see how it bonds to the surface, and also take a look at these two different colors. So let's see how it comes out. Okay, so I think I'm ready. I put my green tarp down here to protect the floor. I have my two different colors here. In fact, there's not a color dot on here, so I don't know which one is which. This is 501 and this is 518. I think 501 is the lighter color. I shook them up, but what I'm gonna do is open these up and stir them with a little stick here and see if we can get it on the wall and see what it looks like. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I opened these. These are two completely different colors. In fact, I'm already not happy with this one here. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. This already looks like the color that's on the wall. And this is the other color, the 501 color. I don't know the name of this color, just this is the 501. I'm gonna try this color. I'll put this one on just to give it a try, but it literally looks like the same color of the plaster already. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but we're gonna go ahead and start with this one. Okay, so I think this is nicely mixed. And just as a disclaimer, I'm no paint expert. In fact, this will be my first time working with lime wash paint. So hopefully it goes well. Okay, let's see how this looks on the wall. Again, this is the T501 from San Marco, and it is a lime wash paint. So let's try this. I got one of those thick brushes that they typically use with a lime wash paint, but we'll see what it looks like when it goes on. Wow. This is very thin. Well, I'm already making a mess. This is really interesting. It's very thin. Like I said, I'm not used to using this type of paint. Okay, so I totally screwed this up. As I said, I'm no paint expert. I should have diluted this with water. The first coat, it says 25 to 30% water. The second coat, 15 to 20% water. And this is just one coat of the paint right out of the bucket. Yeah, okay, my mistake. We all make mistakes, right? So I guess I don't know what to do with it now. Maybe once it fully dries, I'll sand it off a little bit and then do it properly. So I'm gonna let this go for right now and go do something that I think I know a little bit better. Okay, following my failed paint test here, I'm gonna tackle something I know a little bit more about, and that is Christmas lights. So I'm gonna put up some Christmas lights on the tower. We're gonna see how this is gonna come out, hopefully better than my paint test. Christmas period here in Castiglione is a big deal because people come from all around to visit the Castello because the Castello is known for its nativity scenes. There are nativity scenes that are gonna be put out all over the Castello. They do this every year and people, like I said, come from all around to come and see them. And I would like to have the tower looking really cool. This would be the first year that I've done anything like this. I've never put lights up on the house. And so I want to put them on the tower. So I want to be able to light up the tower. What I want to do is silhouette the tower And later, it would be nice to put a Christmas tree in front of the big window and maybe something on these other windows here, but we'll see how it works out. But what I want to do is get started on these, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I have my ladder. I think I'm ready to put up these lights. What I'm going to do is try to highlight these 3 bands that are on the tower. And what I'll do is I'll start here with a 30-meter line of lights. I'm going to go from here, from up there, come down, follow this band all the way around to the other side, go up, come back on that second band, and then start with another line of lights from that second band up to the top band all the way around. And then I think I'm going to have enough to do the area just above the tower, that little structure there. So we'll see how it comes out. I'm not going to do the area below here. Besides, from a distance, you can't see it. From the bridge over there, you can't see it anyway, but it's going to highlight these 3 bands. I think it'll come out nice, but we'll see how it looks at night. Okay, so I'm up here on the tower. The Christmas lights are in place. There were some scary moments, but I managed to get all the hooks in place that I needed so that I can run the lights all the way around the tower. Now, let me show you what I have in place. So I want to talk about how I strung these lights, but before I do, take a look at these bricks. Goodness, this is just beautiful. I just love the way they just pop with that red now. So when I started the lights, I started here, went down to the last band, wrapped all the way around, came back up to the second band, came back over here, and then, I came up right here, back, and around. I really wanted to carry the lights all the way to the edge there to meet that other cable, but it's just too dangerous for me to reach over there because of this thing here that's in the way. And it was just way too dangerous, so I gave up on it and I just came up here. The other thing that I did is I put 2 reindeers in the windows, one here, one there, and I put a Christmas tree in the middle. When it gets dark, I'll turn everything on and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I thought we'd take a quick look back at my paint test here. You know, I'm looking at it and I was thinking, looks a bit artsy. Maybe I can do something to this that would also increase the value of my house. You let me know in the comments what you think.